Dear students, let's continue with civics class chapter 5, and today let's discuss on gender. Let's discuss a little bit on gender. What is gender now? Gender is the social relationship between male and female in the society. When we are talking about gender, here we are talking about the social relationship between male and female in the society. That is different in characteristics, different in behavior, activities, attributes. There are different things that are done by men. They are not done by women in our society. So those differences we are talking about, that is gender. This concept is different from sex. It's different from sex because sex is the biological differences between male and female. Biological differences between male and female. Biologically, we are created by God, different, very different. Boys and girls, biologically, they are different because they are created by God like that. So the difference you can see there, gender is the social relationship between male and female, but sex is the biological differences between male and female. For example, as we have boys and girls. That is, gender is created by society. As we have said here, it is the social relationship between male and female. But sex is created by God. Uh, Biologically, we are created by God. Dear friends, you can see the difference between boys and girls. So that is sex. Okay, the gender concepts. There are various concepts which are used in relation to the concepts of gender. There are various concepts that are used in this concept gender. For example, we have gender equality, we have gender equity, we have gender stereotype, we have gender bias, gender mainstream. So let's see one after another. Gender equity. Gender equity are the measures that should be taken to bridge the inequality between men and women. The ways that should be taken to remove the differences between men and women. That is gender equity. That is about giving priority to women in order to reduce imbalance that already exists. So, when we are talking about gender equity, we are talking about those ways that should be used so as to remove the differences between men and women. That is gender equity. Gender equality. This is the practice of the practice of fairness and justice to all sexes without discriminate one. The act of taking men and women equal. So that act of taking them equal, men and women, we are taking them as equal. So that is called gender equality. Okay, bias. Gender bias. Gender bias, this is the people's attitude and practices on gender division of labor. Example, some society believes that boys are capable in science subject than girls. So when we are talking about gender bias, it is that attitude that people are having that a certain kind of sex can do something better than other type of sex. For example, uh, we believe that science subject it is for boys and not girls. But some other people also believes that Kiswahili subject, for example, it is for girls. That is called the gender bias. That is gender bias. For example, jobs like nurse, for example, nurse, people believes that it is special for girls. So that is what we call gender bias. Okay, gender discrimination. This is the situation whereby one sex is treated better than another. For example, in African societies, boys are treated better than girls. You can see boys are taken to school, but girls, they're supposed to stay home and wait for their husband. So that is called gender discrimination. Gender analysis. This is the systematic effort to identify and understand the roles of women and men in the given society. The systematic ways that people are taking so as to identify and understand the activities, the roles that should be done by women and men in the given society. That is what we call gender analysis. Also, we have gender blindness is an ability to know that there are differences in gender roles and responsibility. That ability to know and believe that there are differences in these there are differences in gender roles, that is called gender blindness. The ability to know there are differences in gender roles and the responsibilities, that is called gender blindness. Also, we have gender balance. Gender balance, this is the process of ensuring that men and women are participating equally at working place. The process of ensuring that women and men are participating equally at the working place. You can see in some other working places, you can see women are given priority like men. Men also are given priority like women. So that is what we call gender balance. No one is discriminated here. Also, we have gender mainstreaming. Gender mainstreaming, this is the process of taking into consideration gender issues in development activities. For example, making laws, forming various laws so as to remove gender gap, forming different policies, starting various programs so as to so as to bring development in these gender issues. That is called the gender mainstream. So the process of taking into consideration gender issues in development activities, example, making laws, policies, and programs. So this is what we call gender mainstream. Okay, so these are some of the concepts that found in gender. So inshallah, we will discuss other concepts in other lessons, inshallah. So remember to stay home and stay safe, as you know that we are in the hard period of COVID-19. So remember to wash your hands also frequently and stay home, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.